Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories for my favorite video of the season, the revelation of the results of the Heats of Eurovision 2025 knockout. You guys voted in huge numbers, almost 2,000 of you decided the winners of each heat and also the countries that made it to the second chance round. So let's get to the results. A quick reminder, if you're new here, how Eurovision Knockout works. It's a reimagining of the Eurovision Song Contest in a World Cup style competition with knockout rounds. So we had 12 heats with all 37 countries of Eurovision 2025 competing. And today we will find out which 16 entries made it to the last 16 and will compete against each other in 8 duels. And here you see how the whole thing will go on. There will be quarterfinals, then there will be semifinals, and at the end we will have 2 songs that will compete and go up against each other in the grand final of Eurovision 2025 knockout. However, you might ask, if there are 12 heats, how do you get 16 songs for the last 16? Well, the 4 songs that came second in their heat and had quantitatively the highest amount of votes will also go on to the last 16, and there'll be a second chance round at the end of this video, so stick around for that. So you see all 16 qualifiers to the next round of Eurovision knockout. Now, the first heat this year was Marco Božňák from Croatia with Poison Cake against Claude from the Netherlands with C'est la vie, and Melody representing Spain with Esa Diva. So these are your votes. None of this is my fault. You guys voted, and here are the results. The winner of heat number 1 is, and thus automatically qualified to the last 16, I should say, is Claude with C'est la vie. Congratulations to the Netherlands. They go on to the last 16 of this competition. And now we have to see who gets a second chance, either Marco Božňák for Croatia or Melody for Spain. And on to the second chance round is Melody and Spain. Congratulations. Unfortunately, that's the end of Marco Božňák and Croatia in Eurovision Knockout. I might add that Baby Lasagna won Eurovision Knockout last year. So yeah, you see that results can really change based on the songs. And so Spain makes it to the second chance round. Heat number 2, we have Catharsis with Tavo Akis, we have Kyle Alessandro with Lider for Norway, and Tommy Cash with Espresso Macchiato for Estonia. Catharsis obviously representing Lithuania, so a bit of a Nordic-Baltic heat here. And the winner of heat number 2, and automatically in the last 16, is Lithuania. Catharsis and Tavo Akis made it to the last 16. Congratulations. And will go up against another qualifier from another heat. Now, to find out who gets a second chance, Kyle Alessandro or Tommy Cash, let's find out who came second in this heat. In second place, in heat number 2, we have Kyle Alessandro, which means that Tommy Cash, a bit surprisingly to me, is no longer in Eurovision Knockout, and Kyle Alessandro gets a second chance at the end of this video. Let's go to heat number 3. We have Yuval Raphael, New Day Will Rise for Israel. We have Kai Barabarabastu for Sweden, and we have Sissel with Hallucination for Denmark. The winner of heat number 3 is Denmark, Sweden, or Israel. And the winner is, sorry, I had to do that. The winner is Sweden, of course. Kai Barabarabastu go on to the last 16. And in second place of heat number 3 was Sissel and Hallucination for Denmark, who just goes on to the second chance round and gets a second chance at the end of the video. In heat number 4, we have Napa, Deslocado, we have Zifferblatt, Bird of Prey for Ukraine, and Emmy with Like a Party for Ireland, and Napa, of course, representing Portugal. Lots of people have said that this was not an easy heat to choose from because they didn't like any of the songs. But let's see who the winner of heat number 4 is. The winner is Zifferblatt and Ukraine. Congratulations. So Ukraine makes it to the last 16. And on to the second chance round in heat number 4 is Ireland. Congratulations. Unfortunately, that's the end for Portugal in Eurovision knockout. And Emmy gets a second chance. Heat number 5, we have Mirjana Conte with Serving. We have Laura Thorne with La Poupée Monte le Son and Adonis Kiss Kiss Goodbye for Czechia. And the winner of heat number 5 is Czechia, Adonis with Kiss Kiss Goodbye. I was a bit surprised by that. Czechia goes on to the last 16, and then a second chance we have for either Mirjana Conte or Laura Thorne, and second place in heat number 5 was Serving. Malta gets a second chance, and unfortunately Luxembourg is out of Eurovision knockout. So Mirjana Conte goes on to the second chance round. Then we have heat number 6. We have Remember Monday, What the Hell Just Happened for the United Kingdom. We have Tautumeitas, Burman Laimi for Latvia. And we have Justina with Gaia for Poland. So the winner of heat number 6 is Latvia. Congratulations. This was a bit of a surprise for me as well. Latvia goes on to the last 16, but I'm very happy about it. And on to the second chance round are either Remember Monday or Justina. And there is a second chance for Poland. Justina and Gaia make it on, and one of my favorites, unfortunately, Remember Monday, is out of the competition, and Justina gets a second chance. Now, heat number 7. We have Theo Evan for Cyprus with Shh. We have Klavdia with Asteromata for Greece, and we have Luan with Maman for France. Battle of the Ballads, at least the last two. The winner of heat number 7 is It's Klavdia and Greece. Congratulations, first place in heat number 7 and thus on to the last 16. And we have a second chance for either Theo Evan or Luan. And the second chance goes to Luan, who came second in this heat and will thus get a second chance at the end of this video. Then, heat number 8, we have Erika Wigman with Ich Komme. We have Park and Survivor for Armenia, and Miriam Shengelia and Freedom for Georgia. And I forgot to say, of course, Erika Wigman is representing Finland. The winner of heat number 8 is, I think, not a big surprise. It's Erika Wigman and Finland. Congratulations. And Finland goes on to the last 16. And then the second place of heat number 8 goes to Armenia. Park and Survivor gets a second chance at the end of this video. Then we have heat number 9 with Shkodra Elektronika and Germ representing Albania, Red Sebastian Strobe Lights representing Belgium, and Gojo with Milkshake Man representing Australia. The winner of heat number 9, quite a few fan favorites in here. The winner is... It's Albania with Germ. Congratulations, on to the last 16. And second place in heat number 9 went to either Belgium or Australia. Who gets a second chance? It is Australia. So Belgium is unfortunately out of Eurovision knockout, and Australia gets a second chance at the end of the video. In heat number 10, we have Prince Mila for Serbia, Mama Gama with Run With You for Azerbaijan, and Clemen. How much time do we have left for Slovenia? I like all of these songs more than the general Eurovision community seems to like them. So this was a hard one for me. However, for you guys, the winner of heat number 10 was Azerbaijan. Congratulations. Azerbaijan goes on to the last 16. And second place, and thus a second chance for Serbia or Slovenia. And the second chance went to Slovenia, getting second place in this heat. I can tell you that it was very close, but Slovenia goes on to the second chance round. Then in heat number 11, wow, we have Italy, Lucio Corsi, Volevo essere un duro. We have Gabri Ponte, Tutta l'Italia, and we have Zoe May, Voyage, my personal favorite this year. So, very hard heat for me to choose from, but I just told you what my favorite is this year. However, you guys voted, and here is your winner of heat number 11. The winner is our host country, Switzerland, made it to the last 16, which makes me very happy, and will be facing Czechia in the duel phase of Eurovision knockout. And then who gets a second chance? Either Lucio Corsi or Gabri Ponte. The second place in heat number 11 went to San Marino. Congratulations. Unfortunately, that is the end of the Eurovision knockout journey for Lucio Corsi and Italy. But San Marino with the Sanremo theme song gets a second chance at the end of the video. And then last but not least, heat number 12. We have 4 countries competing. We have Austria, JJ with Wasted Love, one of the big favorites, Abor and Tuna with Baller for Germany. We have Nina Žižić with Dobro došli for Montenegro, and we have Vibe with Roa for Iceland. The winner of heat number 12 is... It's Austria, JJ and Wasted Love. So Austria goes to the last 16 and will be facing Greece in the last 16. And then either Germany, Montenegro or Iceland gets a second chance. The second chance went to Aber and Tuna with Baller. So unfortunately, Nina Žižić and Vibe are out of the competition. And here you see all the countries that have a second chance. The 4 countries with quantitatively the highest amount of votes will also go on to the last 16 and fill the 4 places that are still open. So we have Spain, Norway, Denmark, Ireland, Malta, Poland, France, Armenia, Australia, Slovenia, San Marino, and Germany still hoping to get a second chance. And I might add that if Spain, France, and Germany don't get a second chance, no Big 5 country will have made it to the last 16. But let's see how you guys voted. This is in a random order. And the first country that gets a second chance is Norway. Kalle Alessandro and Leiter go on to the last 16 and will be facing Tavo Akis from Lithuania by Catharsis. Then the next country to get a second chance is... It's Malta. Mirjana Conte and Serving will be facing Ukraine in the last 16. 2 more places and 10 countries still hoping for a second chance. The next country to go on to the last 16 is... It's Luan and Maman. Congratulations. France will be facing Latvia in the last 16. And then for the final spot in the last 16, Spain, Denmark, Ireland, Poland, Armenia, Australia, Slovenia, San Marino, and Germany are still hoping to get that last spot. And the last qualifier is... It's Justina and Poland. Congratulations. And Justina will be facing off against Finland in the last 16. Unfortunately, that means Spain, Denmark, Ireland, Armenia, Australia, Slovenia, San Marino, and also Germany are out of the competition. Now, let's have a look at the duels in the last 16. We have the Netherlands, Claude and Silavi against Škoda Elektronika with Germ. We have Katarsis Tavoakis for Lithuania facing off against Kyle Alessandro and Leiter from Norway. We have Kai Barabarabastu against Mamagama with Run With You. We have Zifferblatt and Bird of Prey against Miriana Conte and Serving. We have Adonis Kiss Kiss Goodbye facing off against the host entry Voyage by Zoeme for Switzerland. Then we have Tautumeitas Burman Laimi against Luan and Maman. We have Klavdia representing Greece with Asteromata against JJ Wasted Love representing Austria. And last but very much not least, we have Erika Wickmann, Ich komme, against Justina with Gaia representing Poland and Erika Wickmann obviously representing Finland. Those are the last 16, the 8 duels you can now vote in. The link is in the description of this video and you have a week to vote for your favorite. And then in about a week, I will tell you who will qualify from the last 16 to the quarterfinals. Thank you for watching. Thank you for voting. And please subscribe if you haven't yet, if you don't want to miss any of my videos. See you then and bye-bye.